Hello and welcome to PlayStation Grenade. Days Gone is one of the most anticipated games seen at E3. It's now been a full year since the initial reveal, and we have seen some behind closed doors demos, and now we can give you more details. In fact, here are 9 things you should know about Days Gone. The story is quite run-of-the-mill. It's a post-apocalyptic zombie escapade which are very popular in this day and age. Set 2 years after one of those worldwide pandemics which has pulled humanity into disarray, the infection turns adults into freakers and children into those little golem-esque creatures known as newts. Animals will also fall victim to this disease, but we'll get to that in a moment. At this point in time, the remaining members of the human race have become killing machines and have siphoned into factions, kind of like The Walking Dead from Season 3 onwards, or like The Last of Us in terms of somber survival and storytelling. You play as a bounty hunting biker named Deacon St. John. He's lost everything at this point, and therefore he has a steely determination and a lack of care all at the same time. The perfect protagonist. This isn't confirmed, but he's wearing biker leathers, which could represent his part in a biker gang, like in Sons of Anarchy, which you should definitely go and watch, by the way, if you haven't already. If details matter to you, then we can tell from his cut that he's part of the Mongrel Biker Club by the logo on his back. He's a road captain, which means his knowledge of travel and route finding is unmatched. He has a nomad patch too, inferring that he isn't confined to one area or one chapter of the club. In one shot we've seen the road captain patch, but look, in the latest shot it says enforcer. If you're an enforcer in a biker gang, you're usually pretty hard and quite good at shooting things too. Not that I would know. Let's talk about the wildlife in Days Gone. So far we have seen wolves, bears and crows, all of which are susceptible to the outbreak and are extremely volatile. Each one of them has attributes you should be aware of when playing. For example, the wolves can outrun you even on your motorcycle, so fending them off is imperative when being chased. Just make sure you're aware of your surroundings. The crows appear when the weather changes, and the bear, well, we haven't seen the bear in action yet, but my word, that looks like an epic boss fight. What other animals do you want to see in the game? Fingers crossed for an infected giraffe. As Deacon is a biker, his vehicle is extremely important to him. He set it up for all-terrain use, so don't feel compelled to stick to the roads and trails. It's not here solely to get you from A to B either, it has a key importance on your journeys. Think of it like a mobile inventory or a transportable treasure chest. Deacon can't carry everything he finds, so his bike offers respite for us scavengers who can't leave anything behind. Speaking of rummaging through every nook and cranny, the crafting system requires use of everyday items from before the apocalypse. The oil filter found in an old vehicle can be used as a gun suppressor, the airbags for improvised explosives, and even tree bark has a use for Deacon. He can even put bear traps to good use too. I don't want to draw too many parallels to The Last of Us, but the scavenging and the item creation definitely shares some similarities. Let's talk about the weather. This is one which I didn't really expect to change the game drastically, but it really does dictate how you need to play. The enemies you encounter and how you overcome obstacles differ when the weather changes. For example, the freakers are not fans of the snow, so if you venture out at that time of the year, expect to see less of those freaky buggers running around. Similarly with the wolves. During the 2017 E3 demo, we saw wolves eating a body on the roadside. Well, if this section was played in winter, then you'd likely see crows consuming that body instead. The weather is truly dynamic and the day-night cycle keeps things interesting too. What's pretty cool though is that when your visibility is impaired, then expect the enemies to have the same issue too, which you can use to your advantage. Even the bike's traction and speed will take a hit in different weather conditions. The developers say that your ability to improvise in the game is a key part of how you play. Think of it like environmental management. That sounds like something a teacher would say, doesn't it? Let me explain. Take the chase scene we saw last year. Deacon has the ability to change the path of the freaker horde, blocking routes to give himself time to escape. Or on the flip side of that, the environments offer opportunities to mislead and misdirect enemies, and you can even occupy them with a swarm of the undead if your tactics are right. And of course those environmental kills are here, as gruesome as you can imagine. This all plays into strategy. Will you plan, or will you run and gun? The choice is completely yours. Sony Bend are at the helm of this project, and if you don't know them, don't worry, they do have pedigree. They are responsible for the brilliant Siphon Filter series, and more recently than that, Uncharted Golden Abyss on the Vita, which sadly was not played by too many people, but it was an excellent game. I thought I'd end by trying to compare the games with others. In terms of genre and setting and crafting too, this has elements of The Last of Us. The stealthy nature of the open world feels a lot like Horizon Zero Dawn, and the set pieces draw from the Uncharted series.
There's gotta be another way. I need you on this one.
I don't think I could give this higher praise at this point, even at this early stage. The developers have stated they have had 300 plus freakers on screen at once, and over 1,000 in a single encounter. I have high hopes for Days Gone, but what do you think? Up for another zombie-filled open-world adventure? Because I know I am. I'm Adam from PlayStation Grenade. For more on Days Gone, please subscribe and join our dysfunctional family. It has been a pleasure. I'll see you next time.